Hey guys, Kurt Wilson, Beats on Bites. Thanks for being here. Today we are talking to Paul Insinna, 30-year entertainment attorney, also a manager. This guy knows everything from hip hop to pop and has done it all. Master of the contract, and he's got some great stories, great insights. You're going to want to stick around. So tell me your story, Paul. How did you get involved in music at all? I mean, I read a couple of things, but just wanted to share for the people that didn't get a chance to read your Facebook history.
Sure. Well, I've always been a big fan of music, even as a kid. In fact, in high school and I think even pre-high school as a teen, I put together a cover band, and we performed at parties and later at some clubs. But I actually went to law school. Not really sure what I was going to do. And a lot of people were pushing me towards litigation because I was kind of an argumentative kind of guy anyway.
Perfect for music business, though.
But the minute I found out there was such a thing as entertainment law, and then I took the entertainment law class at Yale Law, and that was it. After that, I says, this is where I belong. Because it's marrying things that I really loved. I mean, music and the legal field.
Excellent. Now you were an artist yourself, right? You did some stuff. Did you write, or were you doing cover tunes?
I was doing cover tunes. I've written some songs. I actually went in the studio and recorded some songs, but it's not something I talk about because I was not very good. I mean, I knew right away, seeing other people, that I didn't have the talent to make a career of that. And I also knew right away I wasn't one of these guys that wanted to struggle for the rest of my life paying bills. Right. And that's the life of a musician, unfortunately, no matter how talented you are.
A lot of them, yes.
So that was my decision to go on the business side.
Okay. And so, I mean, you've done so many things. I mean, as an attorney, you've also managed, being an artist yourself. So, I mean, you've got, we briefly spoke about this on the phone the other day, where you have more of a understanding of what an artist is going through, what a label's looking for.
I think so. I can see it from sides that other people usually don't. And since I do manage is just for that purpose. I think I mentioned to you that, I managed to be able to keep my ear on the ground and be able to see how the theory affects the realities of what's happening. Because if you're at the desk reading contracts and giving advice all the time, you're not out at clubs, you're not putting gigs together, you're not dealing with smaller artists, you're not going through that whole thing. It affects your advice. You give some. All the time I see these poor people that are getting the wrong advice because they're getting advice that lawyers are getting from a book, and that doesn't always translate.
No, not in the real world. Yes, it's in theory, it's a great place to start. No, that's fantastic. And have you done a lot of management?
No, I haven't. Usually, first of all, I only take on one management client at a time.
Okay.
Because my law practice has always been what paid the bills.
Sure.
And management was kind of a side thing for me that I never expect to get any money from it. I'm doing it, partly as a labor of love, partly as a learning process to keep my ear to the ground. And it's also somewhat of a creative outlet. I mean, you could get stifled if you're a creative person at one point, which I was years ago, just reading contracts and giving business advice. You want to do more than that. So as a manager, you get to have input in other aspects, in creative aspects. So that's what management is a tough gig, clearly. And
say that again. I didn't hear that.
Management is a very tough gig.
Oh yeah.
Clearly.
You have somebody's life in your hands, and you're directing them based on your experience and your opinions.
The other thing is, what being a lawyer is nice is that when you're a lawyer for a client, you give them the best advice you can, and if they don't take the advice, so what? You got paid. You feel bad for them, but but in a management situation, if you're advising them and they're not listening to you, it can get very frustrating because they drag you down that tunnel as well.
Sure. So, yeah.
And I've had very bad experiences with that in the past.